Point one, special fathers. Point two, both. Number three, it's important that mother and father be united in this effort. Not always possible. Sometimes dad or mom is not a believer. They're supposed to stay married, the Bible says. And what you do there, among 1,000 other hard efforts, is to try to talk through some common ground for how to discipline these kids and what can be expected of them on our shared common ground. You work at it. Not easy. However, the ideal is mom and dad have talked through their differences before they got married. You're single here? That's one of the things you talk about. Do you know that? How do you discipline kids? When do you have devotions? Do you have devotions? Do I lead them or you lead them? How long should they be? Do you spank? I spank. And on and on and on. These are pre-marriage huge issues to get unity on. Well, if you blew that and you're already married, get working on it. Because you need a united front with these children. None of this dad going, I wouldn't say that. And the kid's, cool. Dad says, he wouldn't say that. Don't ever do that. We are one before these children. You talk behind the scenes about whether you would have done it that way. Noel and I do that all the time. Would you want to say it that way again? Or she to me? But not in front of the child. I think all that's implied here in terms of their oneness and their togetherness. Don't confuse the children. Work through your differences. Get a united front. Stand together. Don't let them manipulate you. So many kids they're smart manipulators of dad's sappy personality or mom's tenderness or whatever. They're going to work you over. So get this thing fixed together behind the scenes, strong, upfront, tender, firm, one. And they look back and forth. Well, no use here. Number 4. We're almost done. The most fundamental task of a mother and a father is to show God to the children. Have you thought this? Children know their parents before they know God. This is a huge responsibility. They don't even know God exists. And they know their parents so well. 1 year goes by, 2 years, 3 years, and they're knowing their parents. Day in, day out, they're knowing their parents. And they don't know anything about God. Or do they? Every dad and mom should be on your face, desperate to become more godlike. That's our main business. You can read 1,000 books. But if you don't have time to read 1,000 books, fall down before God and say, shape me into your image for this child. They will experience the kind of authority there is in the universe before they know there's a universe. They will experience the kind of justice there is in the universe before they know there's a universe. They will experience the kind of love there is in the universe before they know there's a universe. Before they know that there's a God of authority and a God of justice and a God of love. Guess what? They'll recognize Him if they've seen Him. He'll fit. That was the kind of authority. That authority I see in the Bible, unstoppable, unchangeable. I've seen that. I don't mess with my dad. And the tenderness of God, seen in Jesus Christ, holding little children, touching lepers. I've seen that. I've seen it in my mom. I've seen it in my dad. Why wouldn't I want to believe this God? This is huge. The main task of a husband and a wife in bringing children to be followers of Jesus is to be like Jesus. That's the main job. It's real simple. I mean, it's impossible, but it's not complicated. It doesn't take a long book to say that. I mean, I'm a simple person. I read slow. If I have to have 10 points to follow, I remember the first 2. So just get this one. If you're like me, day and night, strive to be changed by faith into the image of Jesus. That's parenting. It's not easy, but it isn't all that complicated. Finally, number 5, and then we'll be done. God has ordained, we're coming full circle now, you'll hear it. God has ordained that children come to be followers of Jesus and worshipers of God in a marriage, because the most fundamental meaning of marriage is to display the covenant-keeping love between Christ and the church. And that's the atmosphere in which children are to be enfolded. Children are to live in the covenant-keeping love of Christ and the church, modeled by these parents, so that they don't just see God just, God loving, God strong, God firm, God tender. They see Christ dying for a bride submitting to a Christ, and then being a part of the family would feel so right. So He has set up a very beautiful thing in marriage as the place where children are brought to be followers of Christ. So may the Lord grant us a united focus in what really matters in marriage. United, husbands and wives, loving like Christ and the church, and children, by grace, seeing that and loving it and wanting to make their own one day.